Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live at 4. Mark will be back on Monday. Eric just said, I've got 2 more days.
2 more days of Susan to deal with.
No, I appreciate
It's great to be here. Great to be here.
It's good to have you here. Very good to have you here. And it's a busy day today. We have a busy show, so let's get right to it. Here's what's making news on this Thursday. We now know the identity of the man who opened fire at a Middleton software company. We'll have the latest developments.
And also, a shooting at a workplace in Maryland leaves 3 people dead, many others injured. We'll have an update there.
The woman who is accusing the president's Supreme Court nominee of sexual assault now says she is willing to testify, but with certain conditions. So we'll update you on that story. Let's take a look outside today. We've kind of been bookended between rain. Rainy this morning and then a little bit of sun now, and some rain coming maybe later as well. That's a nice shot. Yeah. Good day to
The sun has come out. It was rainy though earlier, and falling temperatures are our weather words as fall is set to arrive, and we're going to really feel it starting tomorrow. Let's go to Dana for the latest on what we can expect in the days ahead. Dana.
Hey, so right now, guys, it's nice and sunny outside. Certainly doesn't feel like fall. It's a little warm. It's a little humid, but we are going to see some cooler temperatures on the way. We have a warm front lifting right over southern Wisconsin. In fact, if we look at our visible cloud track right now, you can see the cloudy sky earlier today and almost a clear straight line lifting right on north as that warm front lifts overhead. So we're seeing a warming trend now for the next few hours. Also feels very sticky outside. A few showers to the south in Illinois right now and off to the west. They're dealing with quite a stormy afternoon off to the west in Iowa and Minnesota. Right now, we do have the potential to see some isolated thunderstorms over the next few hours, but as you can see on our Doppler track, we don't have anything in central and southern Wisconsin currently. That's going to be something we're going to continue to watch, though, over the next few hours. A lot of rain in the last 24 hours, stretching even into southern Wisconsin. Some areas seeing over 6 inches of rainfall in the last 24 hours. Again, we had some really heavy showers come through last night and even this morning. That warm air is coming right on up. When I got into work, our temperatures were close to 70. We're at 81 right now in Madison, in the 90s in central Illinois. So yes, we are going to actually warm up quite a bit just over the next few hours. Our afternoon highs, not quite here just yet. We're probably going to get a little warmer even in Madison, Janesville right now at 88 degrees. So it's already feeling a little like summer before we cool right back down. By tomorrow, we have some cooler air moving in. The warm front lifts overhead now. The cold front lifts in overnight or moves in overnight. And that's going to bring some clouds, a little bit of a rain chance overnight, and some cooler air moving in. We'll take a close look at that cooler trend for us in just a few minutes. Right now, I want to take a look at our first alert traffic. Overall, things not looking too bad outside. If you're getting ready to hop on the roads, you should have fairly smooth sailing throughout much of Dane County right now. The Beltline, though, moving a little slowly because we do have a bit of an incident there, a crash on I-1218 or US 1218 eastbound. That crash causing quite a bit of a backup and a delay. The eastbound side barely traveling at 12 miles per hour, 15 miles per hour a little further to the west, but that's quite a crawl. If you're trying to move anywhere along the Beltline, we'd like to see speeds a little quicker. If you're traveling on 14 eastbound into Middleton, of course, a little bit of a slowdown there at about 9 miles per hour, but it's not a large backup at this time, just a short spot. We'll keep a close eye on traffic as well as your forecast. Drive times look okay for us right now. We'll have another update on that in just a little bit. We're going to take a closer look again at the rain chance coming through this evening, coming up soon.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thank you, Dana. We begin with breaking news this afternoon. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office identifies the Middleton shooter as 43-year-old Anthony Tong.
And Tong shot 4 coworkers yesterday at WTS Paradigm before he was shot and killed by police. Our Keely Arthur live now with the very latest. Keely?
That's right. We are at Tong's west side home. You can see here where police broke in using explosives, trying to learn more about that shooter. What we know now is that he acted alone when he opened fire on his coworkers at WTS Paradigm yesterday morning, shooting 4 of those coworkers before police responded in kind. He was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead from multiple gunshot wounds. Tong had worked at WTS since April of 2017. Police still trying to answer that very important question. Why did he do this?
But I can tell you that a motive hasn't been determined yet. So the investigators, are still digging for that. Obviously, that's one thing that's on the top of everybody's mind, and we just have not found one yet.
Police held off on reporting Tong's name before his family, some of whom live outside of Wisconsin, were notified. Now, Tong did not have a license to carry a gun, but he also did not have any criminal record, at least in the state of Wisconsin.
All right, Keely Arthur reporting live on Madison's far west side. Keely, thank you.
Thank you, Keely. The building where the shooting happened remains closed to the public.
But throughout the day, people who worked near the scene of the shooting were able to collect personal items that they left at their workplaces. Rose Schmidt spent the day at the hotel that served as the meeting place. She joins us live at the news center. Rose?
That's right. Now, amid the chaos of the shooting yesterday, employees at WTS Paradigm and Esker and the surrounding buildings scrambled to get out, leaving their cell phones, wallets, and keys behind. Dozens of employees met at the Marriott Residence Inn this afternoon. Officers went inside their workplaces to get their personal items for them. There were hugs all around as they were grateful to be safe and alive. WTS Paradigm and Esker employees have been instructed not to talk to members of the media. But we talked to other people working in Middleton who say it will be hard to forget what they saw and heard yesterday.
It kind of hit home knowing that it could have been any mom, any dad, any sister, any sibling, you know, and it could have been my siblings. It could have been me, you know, and just seeing everyone, it wasn't something pretty to see, you know, the reaction, the way they were feeling. It wasn't pretty at all.
Police officers also escorted people to their cars, which were left in the parking lot yesterday as part of Deming Way still remains closed. And any witnesses who have not been in contact with law enforcement officers are asked to call Dane County Victim Witness. Information about trauma services and support is available through the Dane County District Attorney's Office.
And we have all of that information on our website as well at channel3000.com. Rose, thanks.
A shooting at a small Maryland city north of Baltimore has left 3 people dead, 3 more injured. A woman opened fire at a Rite Aid distribution center in Aberdeen, Maryland, resulting in multiple fatalities and injuries. Police say the woman used a handgun in the attack and later took her own life. The motive unclear, but there are no indications that this is in any way related to terrorism.
Our suspect is a lone female suspect, age 26, who had a last known address in Baltimore County. She has died at the hospital. The suspect was a temporary employee employed here at the distribution center. She had reported for her workday as usual, and around 9 a.m. the shooting began.
Eyewitnesses described the scene outside the warehouse as chaotic. The FBI and ATF responded to the shooting and is now working with local law enforcement.
The deadline for hearing testimony from the woman accusing Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual assault is tomorrow. Protesters gathered at Senator Jeff Flake's office on Capitol Hill in a show of support for Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. Attorneys for Ford have reached out to the Senate Judiciary Committee saying that she wishes to testify next week if certain safety and fairness considerations can be met.
What is happening with the Judiciary Committee is a really, I would call it a railroad job.
Someone who is lying does not ask the FBI to investigate their claims. Who is not asking the FBI to investigate these claims? The White House.
Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley says the committee is working on its own investigation and that aides are reaching out to Mark Judge and 2 other alleged witnesses, but the Democrats thus far have declined to participate.
It was 1 year ago today, Hurricane Maria slammed into Puerto Rico. The powerful Category 4 storm caused damage that still hasn't been repaired. David Begnaud was in Puerto Rico when the storm hit and has been following recovery efforts for the past year.
Blue tarps still cover thousands of damaged homes across Puerto Rico, 1 year after Hurricane Maria thrashed the island. Many people are still struggling to find a way to rebuild their homes.
Pues la ayuda llegó.
This woman says the cost of raw materials skyrocketed after reconstruction of her house started, and then she ran out of money. The federal government has approved $1.4 billion to help residents of the U.S. Commonwealth, and Congress has approved nearly $20 billion for reconstruction and infrastructure improvements. But many here say aid money has been slow to arrive. FEMA admits it denied nearly 1/3 of the 1.1 million applications for individual aid. Power is finally being restored to just about everyone on the island after Maria crumbled the already dilapidated power grid. But it took months for the island's government-owned electric company to get the lights back on, and outages happen almost daily. The lack of electricity may have contributed to the deaths of many elderly and sick people. The official death toll has been raised from 64 to an estimated 2,975 after a study conducted by George Washington University. Thursday morning at the seaside town where Maria made landfall, a choir performed a traditional Puerto Rican song, marking the anniversary and honoring the people who died. David Begnaud, CBS News, New York.
The Center for Puerto Rican Studies in New York says over 135,000 Puerto Ricans have relocated to the U.S. mainland since the hurricane. The majority went to Florida.
There's more at 4. When we come back, the always stylish Shayna Mace is here. She's going to look at what's in fashion this fall. We did this segment just for you. We know you love a fashion segment.
Yeah. Apparently denim, the topic
yes.
today. And Ticketmaster accused of selling tickets in bulk to scalpers. An undercover report is next at 4.
It's the
Ticketmaster is accused of running what looks like an underground ticket scalping project that may be driving up prices and costing consumers millions.
An investigation by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation and the Toronto Star claims the box office giant is helping scalpers buy tickets and then resell them with the secret program. Wearing hidden cameras, journalists from the Toronto Star and CBC posed as scalpers at a major live entertainment conference in Vegas. This was in July, and that's where they found Ticketmaster representatives appearing to pitch a company-owned resale platform used by ticket scalpers.
I brought on people that are extremely small, that have had just a few sets of tickets, and frankly just had the gumption to try. And they become pretty good partners for me, doing $500,000 or whatever. But I've had guys that start off
$500,000 or $500,000 tickets?
In sales. In total sales.
They have this secret scalper program that they don't talk about in any corporate reports.
The program called Trade Desk is designed for professional scalpers. They set up these fake accounts to buy tickets in bulk on Ticketmaster.com. Since the website limits how many tickets one person can buy, the scalpers then sell those tickets at inflated prices on Trade Desk. Ticketmaster can then make money off fees from the initial ticket sale and the resold scalp ticket. Ticketmaster denies in a statement that it has any program in place to enable resellers to acquire large volumes of tickets at the expense of consumers. On Wall Street, the Dow hits a new record high today for the first time since January, up 251 points to 26,657. The S&P adds 23, also a record high now at 2931, and the Nasdaq added 78. It is almost the weekend here in the 608.
We're getting there, and it's the first weekend of fall as well. Emmy Fink is here with a look at what's going on around town. Hello.
Hi, Emmy.
Hello, you guys.
We're going to get ready to laugh this weekend. We could use that right about now.
We could always use that, right? Well, and if you're a comedy fan, then you have two choices for great options tonight. So you can choose between stand-up acts now touring. Kathleen Madigan is the first one. She's at the Barrymore, and then Hannibal Buress at the Orpheum. So she's a veteran comedian, a Midwestern girl. Kathleen has appeared multiple times with David Letterman, as well as Jerry Seinfeld's comedians in cars getting coffee. That always gets me every time. I don't know how he says that all the time. There's a 1-hour stand-up special that you can see with her, Bothering Jesus. That's on Netflix, or just see her tonight live, 8 o'clock at the Barrymore Theater tonight.
And Emmy, Hannibal Buress, is it Buress?
Buress.
That's the other big thing going on tonight.
Yeah, so he's probably best known for his role on Comedy Central's Broad City. He's a comic and the co-host of the Handsome Rambler podcast. He's also a movie star, too. He was actually in Spider-Man Homecoming back in 2014, and he actually was one of the first people to start talking about the sexual assault allegations against Bill Cosby. And then one of those videos from his performances went viral. And then, of course, after that, 60+ women came out. So he was big in total responsibility there. So you can see him tonight at 7:30 as well.
And there's something else going on tonight as well.
Lots for a Thursday,
Yeah.
right? You know, in case this is your night to go out, Jeff Tweedy, who's the front man for the indie rock band Wilco, he'll also play at Overture Center's Capitol Theater stage solo tonight. So last year, he put together a collection of acoustic versions of all the Wilco songs that he recorded. Well, it will be an intimate performance tonight. Just him. He's a really talented singer-songwriter, and he'll be leading the charge all by himself.
A lot of Wilco fans out there. And
Yeah.
how about some Friday fun when the weekend really gets going?
Yeah, so the bi-weekly Indigenous Jazz Series gets underway this Friday with local jazz and gospel music drummer Rick Flowers. So this is going to showcase jazz musicians in the Madison area, again, Friday night, 7:30 at the Wisconsin Union Theater.
And there is a big name, a familiar face in town tomorrow.
Well, a big name, and for a lot of those Star Trek fans out there, you probably know who it is. Well, Friday night, the Orpheum is going to show the screening of the 1982 film Star Trek II, and actor William Shatner, aka James T. Kirk, will appear live on stage for an interview and his reflection of the time portraying this iconic character. So if you don't have time to catch him, he's actually going to be scheduled to be back in Madison for the Wizard World at the Alliant Energy Center, which is late November. So just in case you're a Shatner fan.
We're trying to get him on Live at 4, so keep your fingers crossed.
That
we're
would be awesome.
I can't promise, but we're
The Trekkies
working
are
on
lining up for that one. No doubt.
Totally.
It's also a chance this weekend to sample some, some German beers.
So why don't we sample in our cute
Look at
little...
these. Where'd you get these huge beers?
They came straight
Those are
from
adorable.
Germany.
Wow.
Cheers, right?
Cheers to you. Susan,
All right.
drink your beer.
Cheers.
That's right,
Cheers,
Susan,
Emmy.
bring it
Thank
in.
you.
It'll make
These
us
are
better
so
anchors.
cute.
You bet. Come on.
What'd you bring us?
Well, it's a Weiss beer. So Saturday, our pick for the
That's good.
week
That
is
is
the
good. Very
good.
Christmas's Oktoberfest.
First time I've ever drank on News 3.
Oh,
21 years.
I love that I was
Way to
a
go,
part of
Emmy.
it.
Now I'm fired.
I'll take over. Susan, it can be a girl thing. So it's 3 to 7. It's the annual celebration. Every attendee is going to get a great big souvenir stein for unlimited wine and or beer samples, whatever is your thing. And then there's German box lunch with like a Wurstemir and German potato
All kinds of
salad,
German stuff.
polka music, DJ, so many wonderful things.
It's going to be a great fall weekend. Sunshine and
yeah.
cooler weather.
Yeah, football.
Good
Hopefully they're
stuff.
going to win this week.
Good stuff on the road at
Yeah,
Iowa.
I
Emmy,
like it.
Great
Thanks,
to see
Emmy.
you.
Good to see you.
Good
Cheers.
to see you. Happy weekend.
And get this month's Madison Magazine for all the best in the Madison area.
When we come back, we'll see a story about an 11-year-old who has a brand new heart.
We hear from Sophia about her amazing medical journey and how she got the attention of the nation a little later here on Live at 4. All right, take a look at this. Extreme sports enthusiasts. This is their take on an intense whitewater rafting challenge. You can see that the whitewater trail at Tenaya Creek, this is in Yosemite Valley, California, extremely fast, very shallow, definitely dangerous. Two guys with the Be Alive YouTube channel are brave enough to try their luck kayaking down the creek. It's a combination, log flume, waterfall, and terror ride. They're basically just skipping off that stone. Now, they actually did suffer some minor injuries, but you know, these guys are thrill seekers. They say it was well worth the ride.
Boy, the scenery is well worth it.
It is
That
beautiful,
is
isn't it?
beautiful there. Today is September 20th, and we're observing a number of food-related days. So just for you, Eric, we spared no expense.
Love it.
Poor Eric never
Spared
gets
no
props.
expense on string cheese.
Today is National Fried Rice Day. You can add shrimp, chicken, or beef to fried rice and make it a complete meal.
It's also National Punch Day, often made with a combination of fruit juice and a carbonated beverage, and even sometimes with just a little bit of alcohol thrown in. A punch is served at parties, weddings, and of course, any celebration you may be having.
And it is National String Cheese Day, perhaps the most enjoyable part of string cheese. How are you going to eat it? Do you have a method to your madness?
You have to peel it.
I peel it too. Everybody peels it. Well, this has now been sitting out for an hour, so
well, there you
it's
go.
a little warm.
We spared no expense
There you
for
go.
you.
String cheese.
Good stuff.
Others prefer to like get down to business and just take the wrapper off and just bite into the stick and take care of it, but most kids try to have some fun with it. So now I've had my beer, I've had my cheese.
Are you satisfied?
Now I need my forecast.
Okay, well, unfortunately, it's not as great as string cheese. We are starting to warm up right now, getting a little bit of sun for this afternoon. That warm weather may lend itself to a few isolated thunderstorms and some shower chances this evening. We'll take a closer look at your forecast right after the break. in a very different spot from where we started the day. A lot of clouds and some showers early on. Right now we have rain off to the north and some down in Illinois, and we are going to be dealing with some showers moving through later on. Off to the west, actually, they're dealing with some stronger storms. That's our next cold front. Right now we're focusing on our warm front, but that cold front bringing a severe thunderstorm watch, tornado watch also off towards Iowa, Minnesota. They're dealing with those stronger storms. They also have that enhanced risk for severe weather throughout the rest of the evening and overnight. That even stretches into part of northwestern Wisconsin, also having that slight risk for us and even a moderate or marginal risk for severe weather for much of the southern and southwest corner of Wisconsin overnight because of the potential for some isolated thunderstorms over the next few hours and also the chance to see some stronger wind gusts and rain come through later on today. We do have quite a bit of rain in the last 24 hours. A few flash flood warnings issued last night because of the rain that did come through. The southwest corner seeing the most rainfall near Platteville, some totals a little closer to 6 inches for us. The further east and the further north you go, those accumulation totals falling quite a bit. Our visible cloud track can almost show exactly where that warm front is for us. Again, we started off mostly cloudy today and then just everything slides right on north for us. Right now is just outside. We're seeing a lot of sunshine. It's warm. Our temps have jumped quite a bit just in the last few hours for us. We're looking at a warm and humid afternoon and evening as that warm front continues to travel north. That may bring the chance again for a few isolated thunderstorms over the next few hours. That's something we're going to be watching through the rest of the afternoon and evening. Overnight, though, into early tomorrow morning as that front lifts north, a next trailing cold front is going to pass right through Wisconsin, bringing a pretty tight line of storms for us early tomorrow morning. Not a huge rain threat, but we may see some really strong wind gusts with that cold front sliding on through. So again, a few clouds right now, but otherwise we're seeing some sunshine. And just a slight chance for us to see those isolated thunderstorms, something we're monitoring very closely. Fairly warm for us overnight. And then early Friday morning is when this line is going to slide through. Not bringing a ton of rain to the area because it will be moving fairly quickly, but not ruling out the chance for some isolated thunderstorms with really heavy rainfall and also the chance for some very strong wind gusts as this line slides through. Starting off Friday for your drive into work, we may still have a few isolated showers or thunderstorms lingering, but the cloud coverage starts to break up. We get a little more sunshine by the end of the day, and we also see some cooler weather shifting on in for Friday. And the same goes for Saturday. Saturday morning, we're going to start off with temperatures in the 40s. It'll be a little cool outside, but we will have some sunshine coming through in the afternoon. Overall, the weekend does look fantastic. Because of the storm threat for the next few hours, we do have the chance again overnight and into tomorrow to have the chance for those alert days to pop up for us. So don't rule out to see some stronger wind gusts. We're also not ruling out the chance to see some isolated thunderstorms, some stronger thunderstorms moving on through. Right now, though, in Platteville, sunshine. And it's warm. In Madison today, hitting a high of about 81, but may see that temperature climb just a little more over the next few hours. I'm not going to rule out the chance to see a little warmer air move on in for us because 81 is where we're at right now. And again, that's jumped quite a bit just in the few hours. When I drove into work a few hours ago, it was about 72 for us. So we may see our high temperature officially climb a few more degrees in the next few hours. It is humid outside. Humidity is at 77%. Overnight, only dropping into the low 60s with that thunderstorm chance late and the strong wind concern with that line of storm sliding on through. Tomorrow, a little breezy and cooler for us with the chance for some isolated showers in the morning, but 64 degrees are high for Friday. That is quite a drop compared to where we're at today in the 80s. So we stay cool tomorrow with that slight shower chance, sunshine coming in later, and then Saturday and Sunday look much nicer outside for us. Saturday, of course, the first day of fall. And then our next chance for storms will come in next week, but our temperatures staying much more seasonal over the next 10 days, which will be a nice transition as we head towards the end of September now and the first full week of fall next week. A few rain chances in there, but much cooler for us. And that's just our afternoon highs staying cool. I want to point out the overnight lows also are going to start getting pretty chilly to start off our days here fairly soon.
Well, it's about that time of the year when it starts to happen.
It is indeed, indeed. So again, for the next few hours, we are going to keep a close eye on the chance for some isolated thunderstorms to pop up. Okay. It's a pretty small chance for us right now, but if anything does pop up because it is so warm, it could get a little dicey.
All right, Dana, thank you.
All right, Dana, thanks.
A little girl with a big personality has had a summer she will never forget.
Sophia Sanchez was waiting for a heart transplant in Chicago when she captured the attention of one of the country's biggest stars, and that was just the beginning. Meg Oliver reports.
Sophia Sanchez lit up the Chicago hospital where she arrived holding her mother's hand. Less than a month ago, the 11-year-old received a new heart.
It feels like a regular heart, and like it doesn't hurt or anything.
The country first met Sophia in July, shortly after she'd been admitted to the Lurie Children's Hospital with heart failure.
I couldn't breathe or catch my breath, and I was gray, and I just had no energy to have sleepovers.
She was on the transplant list for a new heart when the rapper Drake saw her get out of her wheelchair to dance the Kiki Challenge. 2 weeks later, he made a surprise visit to the hospital.
Oh my God!
And a few days after that wish came true, another surprise.
You're getting a heart. Congratulations!
I'm getting a heart, Mom!
On August 27th, Sophia underwent a 9-hour heart transplant. She'll need to be monitored for complications, but so far, doctors are pleased with her recovery.
The new donor heart worked great, and she came off the heart-lung machine with no problems.
Her surgeon, Carl Backer, called Sophia a star patient, and he thanked the other star for bringing some joy to the hospital.
It really was an amazing, uplifting thing for the entire hospital to have him here.
Sophia's mother says the 5th grader will return to school sometime in December.
I'm grateful to have my daughter have a second chance at life.
She plans to hit the ground running, resuming her busy schedule of softball, basketball, and cheerleading. Meg Oliver, CBS News, New York.
The hospital also stressed that as much as they enjoyed having Drake there, his visit did not affect the timing of the organ donation, that was purely coincidence.
I was glad her heart didn't skip a beat.
I know,
when he
she was
walked
so
in.
excited.
She was quite surprised to see it. That's great to see stars do that kind of thing. All right, next, Shayna is here. She'll have her suggestions for fall.
That's right. We're going to have a little fashion roundup when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Barrett going for a swim there at Vilas. You know, warm today, as Dana said, 72 when we got in today.
I know.
Already up into the 80s just a few hours later. So Barrett's taking
off the cliff
a
tomorrow.
nice swim there at the
Look
Vilas.
at her. It's always so sweet to see her swimming in her pool.
Oh, well, the first day of fall, however, will arrive on Saturday.
Fall is the biggest fashion season of the year, and different denims are a big trend this year. Fashion contributor Shayna Mace brought every size and color you can imagine. Hi, Shayna.
Hi. We opened our own denim shop right here. I'll shop for you.
So denim is a big trend.
Yeah, fall, we always kind of turn to denim, men and women. We're only talking about women today, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But,
I have a lot of expertise.
but we're going to talk about 5 to 6 different styles, silhouettes of denim that you can look for to have in your wardrobe. And really, these are timeless styles. So even though they're trendy right now, they're ones that you could buy now and then continue to wear for seasons to come. So the first one is the skinny jean. People might think it's trendy, but really it's never going to go out of style at this point. But we're seeing different, different details to them. For example, we have this one with like a vintage wash, where I'm seeing a lot of lighter washes this fall. This chewed detail, a lot of fraying and distressing is still really popular.
Your dog can get you ready.
That's what it looks like.
And they're
It's
actually
called a
worth
chewed
more
back.
after the dog chews them
Believe
up.
it or not, yeah. And I should mention all of these jeans are from Twigs and from Lucio, which is a local boutique in Middleton. So all local.
Very nice.
So a skinny jean offers you a lot of possibilities in terms of what you can wear with it. You could go a little bit looser on top because they are a tighter fitting jean. So you could wear a longer tunic top or a boxier kind of sweater like this, for example, with the slim leg. So you really have, I would say a skinny jean is probably the most versatile jean that you can wear, and you can wear a variety of shoes. You can wear a flat, a sneaker, a heel, a boot. So
and you think a skinny jean is figure flattering for every body type, or do you have to have a specific body type?
No, it is. I was kind of looking online a little bit about this earlier today, and so many lines have introduced so many different fits of them. A curvy fit, for example, is going to be cut higher in the back, so there's no gaping for women who have a higher hip to waist ratio. So anybody get the message? You can wear a skinny.
Some of you guys at home forget it.
They make guys skinny jeans too. But
doesn't mean you have to wear them.
This next style would be more appealing to a guy, what they sell, which is a straight leg. We're seeing a lot more of straight leg now, and it's even supplanting a little bit of the skinny leg right now. So we have some great choices here, just again from Lucio and Twigs. You can kind of see here, I'll hold it up. It's a little bit still tighter fitting in the thigh, but then the difference between a straight and a skinny is that it doesn't come in around the ankle. So you're just kind of getting a nicer, a little bit more relaxed style, a little bit more of a vintage look, and a lot of them have a high rise, which is also harkens back to vintage denim style. So you can,
all joking aside, the fabrics you feel here are very comfortable.
They're very soft, yeah, and we're actually, some of them even have stretch, they don't have stretch, so it depends on what brand you buy, but there's a lot of denim out there that you can find. So again, you can find a straight in this silhouette where there's a little bit of fraying, and this one even is a little bit more oversized, for example. So it really depends on what you're looking to do.
I like the darker color denim too.
Yeah, and then there's darker colors. So with a straight, you can again wear this. I brought this boot for an example. These boots are really popular right now, but it looks really great with a straight leg, and it looks good with some of these other styles that we're going to talk about. This is a rag and bone boot from
Very
Twigs.
cute,
So,
very cute.
We just got like a minute left. Is this over here? This is a really soft. Is that a jean technically?
Yeah, so that's a jean. I brought kind of a different category, right? So we have a jean skirt. This is super vintage looking. I don't know if you can, you can see it here. This is an A-line style. That's from Lucio. And so these are just different ways, kind of fun ways that you can incorporate denim. We have a velvet pair here, and then you were looking at the embellishment before. That's from Lucio.
That's a big thing these days, all those little silver things.
Embroidery denim.
The bedazzler.
Yeah,
In my day, we used to have a bedazzler to do that. Yeah, but it's very popular.
Yeah, so then I brought 2 other styles just really quick. A flare, still super popular. 2 tips for a flare though. A lot of, they are best for women that are 5'7" or over. You can get them tailored. But always look for the flare to kind of come out below the knee. Otherwise, it's going to look like a bell bottom. Or I'm sorry, a little bit above the knee. If it comes out below the knee, it's going to look like a bell bottom.
Okay.
It's like Susan in high school.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So look for that. And then, so just look for all these at Lucio and Twigs, though. They have a lot of great styles, and they're happy to help and explain everything to you.
Great
Love that locally owned
suggestions.
thing,
Oh
too.
yeah, big time.
Shana,
Bring on
great to-
fall.
Shana, great to
Great
see
to see you, Shana.
Thank you.
Next, it's going to be a nice weekend to go out there and get a drive.
We'll go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs when we come back as Mark and Harvey check out the all-new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. That's when Live at 4 continues.
no major accidents right now or major incidents to report. Things just looking like a standard drive home for you if you're getting ready to hop on the Beltline, or if anyone's heading home from the Beltline right now, you're waiting on them. If they're traveling eastbound, of course, going just a little slower than westbound in that direction. They seem to be cruising along a little better up until getting close to Fish Hatchery Road, and then things will smooth on out. Middleton looking good right now currently, and down near Verona also looking okay, but we'll continue to keep a close eye on things in case anything else does pop up for you guys.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, just what the automotive world needs, right? Another small crossover vehicle.
But that is what the world gets with the all-new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. Mark went behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs to check out this latest entry into a crowded market.
Yet another small crossover.
It is the biggest and still fastest growing category in the segment, and this is the new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross.
Oh, the Eclipse, I remember, is like a sports car.
Right, it was. It was made famous in Fast and the Furious movies. Didn't do any of that in this Eclipse. It certainly doesn't honor the heritage of the previous Eclipse. They talk about it being a sporty SUV, but it's a small compact crossover. And while it looks sporty and has a nice peppy 1.5 liter engine, it's not a sports car.
What it is the first new vehicle from a company that sort of lost its way, making some great sports cars in the 80s, but now only offering some dated SUVs. Recently, the Nissan-Renault Alliance bought Mitsubishi Motors.
So now, with that company behind them, they're looking to reboot, and this is the first chapter of that reboot.
And how'd they do?
They did fine.
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 But fine may not be good enough in this class.
You've got this murderer's row of just phenomenal products here. You've got the RAV4, you've got the CR-V, you've got the CX-5, which is my favorite in the category.
Overall, Harvey thinks the Eclipse does its job well.
This is a family vehicle. It's, mainstream as mainstream gets now. I wouldn't be painting any flames on the side of this.
But he does have an issue with the entertainment system.
What I don't like about this car is really the interface for the entertainment system.
It seems awkward.
It is. You've got this trackpad here. It's not the most intuitive interface. The processor on this seems a little slow. It's slow to warm up.
And the marketplace may be slow to warm up to Mitsubishi.
You cannot be a car company and not have a compact crossover now. It's just everybody from the luxury brands like Jaguar right down to Kia and Hyundai, they have them.
So why do I want this?
Why do you want this one? Well, you want this one because it has a very specific style, and if that appeals to you, that would be okay. Otherwise, there's very little that differentiates this from anything else in the category. It's a car that you have to sell. It's not a car people walk in to buy.
But the good news for this company, with new owners, Mitsubishi is in it for the long haul.
They have product plans of what's next and what's next and what's next, but we'll have to see what that is. But for today, this is what they have, and it's a competitive product in the category, but it's certainly not best in class in any aspect of the category. It's just a really good, solid package.
It's fine.
Fine.
Harvey joining us now. So what's under the hood on that? 152 horsepower?
Yeah, 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, brand new engine. Actually, it's a really good engine for that size car. The challenge becomes when it's mated to this CVT transmission, which doesn't help it off the line. But I see them moving in the right direction with this vehicle. So we'll see where Mitsubishi ends up.
I think it's a nice looking car. What's the price point on it?
It starts around $24,000, tops out just under 30, around the $30,000 range, which is a value in that category. And that's going to help it sell.
In addition to the alliance now with Nissan, Mitsubishi's trying to establish kind of in Madison now, right, with a new dealership?
Yeah, their dealership here is actually, they are the second best-selling Mitsubishi dealer in the country.
Wow.
And that's not per capita, that's total cars. These guys rocket for them. And they specifically talked to me about that at Mitsubishi when I went to drive this car earlier this year.
They definitely want to make an impact in the area.
They do.
Harvey, always good to see you.
Good to see you, Harvey. And you can
Thank
read
you,
a lot
guys.
more about it at ridesanddrives.com. We'll be right back.
Let the
Dana's back. Another check.
Yes, so we are a little sunny, as we were just talking about, very warm outside right now. Very different from what we saw earlier. That visible cloud track just showing that line of clouds lifting north. We have a warm front lifting in right now. It'll be hot for the rest of the day, but tomorrow, much, much cooler outside for us. Big cool down coming through overnight. And the good news, that trend is going to lead us into the weekend. We'll get a little more sunshine, though, for Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow we'll have a few clouds mixed on in.
Boy, big change tomorrow. We'll
Absolutely, a huge drop.
Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana. We'll be right back.
It's the
Today in our final touch, last-minute preparations are underway in Munich 2 days before the annual Oktoberfest opens its doors.
It is the